Hello and welcome. This is Cheryl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm sharing day 5 of the 12 days of Stitchmas. This is a stitching die themed advent calendar from Spellbinders. There are 12 different days and we are on day 5. So all of the videos from the Stitchmas calendar will be in the same playlist. So if you've missed a day, you'll find them in the same playlist as this video. I always love the variety in these calendars, and they're all holiday themed, so they're perfect for creating upcoming holiday cards. So for day 5, we have this mug of hot cocoa with some marshmallows as well as whipping cream. And the stitching feature is some trees on that mug. So this one, it's part of the holiday calendar, but I think you could do this in the fall even earlier than the holidays or whatnot. So here is the die set. I'm going to do all of my die cutting off screen. So everything here is die cut. I have the mugs cut out of some poppy cardstock. The hot chocolate part is done out of acorn cardstock. Then we have white cardstock for the marshmallows and the whipping cream. There is a straw in here, or a stir stick, that has 2 layers to it. I did white for the base and then poppy cardstock for the upper layer. For doing the stitching for the trees on my mug, I'm using some dark green floss. This one is DMC floss 3051, and I am starting at the bottom of one of the trees. As always, I use a little piece of Best Ever craft tape to tape down the end of my floss. That way I don't have to worry about little pieces coming loose or showing. I know that it's nice and secure. So for doing the stitching on these trees, what I do is I stitch all the way up one side of the branches, and then on the way back down, I do the other side of the branches plus the trunk. This is just what works best for me. The nice thing about these stitching dies is you can do them many different ways and they will still look great. They all typically will look the same on the front unless you got creative with your stitching. Anytime you do your die cutting, there is a little line or an indent placed where that stitching is intended to go. But obviously you can get creative. These are your creations. If you want to get creative and do your stitching a little bit differently, you absolutely can. Another way you could change this up is you could do green for just the branch pieces, and then you can do some brown for the trunk if you wanted. I opted to do green for all of it. Mainly because I didn't actually think of the two-tone or 2 colors until after I was done, thinking that that would probably look cool as well. The stitching is nice and easy to do, and it adds so much great texture to these die cut pieces. They're just a fun way to do die cutting just a little bit differently, and I always love things that add texture to cards, whether it's embossing, whether it's heat embossing, whether it's adding stickles or glossy accents. In this case, you don't really need to add a whole lot extra because you've already got that texture with the stitched image with the floss. So once I'm done on the 3rd tree here, there's 3 different trees in here, I'm going to do the same thing that I did at the beginning. I'm going to use a little piece of Best Ever craft tape, tape the end of that floss in place, make sure it's nice and secure, and then I'm going to trim off the floss with my detail scissors, make sure there's nothing hanging out. Now, anytime I do die cutting or stitching dies, I like to die cut that layer twice. For this particular card, there is an insert for the actual stitching part, and then there's an outline die. So I did the outline die once, and then I did the outline die with the stitching so that I can glue the 2 pieces together. This just gives that a little bit of extra dimension and also makes it a lot easier when I'm assembling my card, because I'll be assembling cardstock to cardstock rather than worrying about that stitching underneath. I add that hot chocolate die cut piece, then I add the little straw or swizzle stick, then I'm adding the little whipped cream piece, and yes, I added a little bit too much glue there, but that's okay. The marshmallows are going to hide the rest of the glue. Now I just did my marshmallows as well as my whipping cream in white, but you could easily get creative and do them in different colors if you wanted. If you wanted one or the other piece to stand out a little bit more. I didn't want to detract from the mug itself, so I decided to leave it quite simple and keep them all white. For my background for this, I always typically love to do embossed backgrounds with embossing folder. They're very simple, but it adds some texture that is nice and subtle. So I'm using the Sparkling Snow embossing folder. I'm embossing some fawn cardstock. I had a piece of white sitting there, but I realized that my whipping cream and marshmallows would kind of blend into the background if I kept it at that. So I thought that fawn worked well with the colors of the hot chocolate. You can see how I extended my cardstock here. I used a piece of poppy cardstock for my mat. It's trimmed to 4 inches by 5¼ inches. And after I had trimmed it down, I die cut my poppy cardstock mugs out of it. You're never going to know it's there. It's hiding under that emboss piece. No one will ever know. So once I had my base layers on my card, I set them to the side. This mug is adorable, but it just doesn't fill that whole card too much. And then this particular die doesn't have sentiment. Some of the other ones have had sentiments with them, so they didn't need any extra sentiments. But for this one, I figured there was enough room. So I have my Merry Messages press plate and die set, and I pulled out my Better Press system. I'm going to use the press plate with some Lumberjack Plaid Distressing on Hammer Mill cardstock, and then I'm going to die cut it. It's going to create some very simple sentiments, and I'll have extra sentiments for some of the future stitched cards as well. The matching die lays on there really nice and easily, but I do like to use some Best Ever Craft tape to tape that in place and make sure it's not going to shift on me while I'm doing my die cutting. Anytime I'm matching an image with a die, I typically like to tape it in place just to make sure it's nice and secure and it's going to cut exactly where I want it to. I cut it through my Platinum 6 machine. And here easily I have 5 sentiments done all at once. Now the great thing about press plates is you can use them with many different types of inks and many different types of cardstocks. So they're very, very versatile. For this card, I chose the Warm Winter Wishes. I thought that one was the perfect one to go with the hot chocolate mug as well as my simple, subtle snowflake background. So I glued down that sentiment and then I can glue down that mug. I'm gluing everything with Barely Art glue in a fine line bottle. It works for the tiny die cuts. It also works for assembling my cards. And I love the fact that liquid glue gives you a tiny bit of wiggle room, so you can move and shimmy things in place to make sure that you have the placement exactly how you like it. Here is the finished card, and it has so much texture to it with that snowflake background as well as the stitched and layered die cuts. Thank you so much for joining me for day 5 of the 12 days of Stitchmas. I will be back tomorrow and share day 6.